Presidents: A Journey Through the Timeline of USA Presidents. The first U.S. president was George Washington, born on February 22, 1732, in Westmoreland County, Virginia. He was an independent and served for 8 years from April 30, 1789 to March 4, 1797. Washington's greatest contribution was stepping down after 2 terms, setting a lasting example for peaceful transitions of power in American democracy. The second U.S. president was John Adams, born on October 30, 1735, in Braintree, Massachusetts. He was a Federalist and served for 4 years from March 4, 1797 to March 4, 1801. He played a crucial role in drafting the Declaration of Independence and advocating for independence from Britain. The third U.S. president was Thomas Jefferson, born on April 13, 1743, in Shadwell, Virginia. He was a Democratic Republican and served for 8 years from March 4, 1801 to March 4, 1809. He is best known for authoring the Declaration of Independence, laying the foundation for American ideals of freedom and equality. The fourth U.S. president was James Madison, born on March 16, 1751, in Port Conway, Virginia. He was a Democratic Republican and served for 8 years from March 4, 1809 to March 4, 1817. He is hailed as the father of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The fifth U.S. president was James Monroe, born on April 28, 1758 in Westmoreland County, Virginia. He was a Democratic Republican and served for 8 years from March 4, 1817 to March 4, 1825. He is known for the Monroe Doctrine, which protected the Americas from European interference and strengthened U.S. leadership in the Western Hemisphere. The sixth U.S. president was John Quincy Adams, born on July 11, 1767 in Braintree, Massachusetts. He was a Democratic Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1825 to March 4, 1829. He was a strong advocate for modernization and national infrastructure. The seventh U.S. president was Andrew Jackson, born on March 15, 1767 in Waxhaws, South Carolina. He was a Democrat and served for 8 years from March 4, 1829 to March 4, 1837. He is known for his populist approach and the founding of the Democratic Party. The eighth U.S. president was Martin Van Buren, born on December 5, 1782 in Kinderhook, New York. He was a Democrat and served for 4 years from March 4, 1837 to March 4, 1841. He is credited with establishing the second-party system in American politics. The ninth U.S. president was William Henry Harrison, born on February 9, 1773 in Charles City County, Virginia. He was a Whig and served for just 1 month from March 4, 1841 to April 4, 1841. He is remembered for his military service and for delivering the longest inauguration speech. The 10th U.S. president was John Tyler, born on March 29, 1790 in Charles City County, Virginia. He was a Whig and served for 4 years from April 4, 1841 to March 4, 1845. His greatest contribution was his role in the annexation of Texas, which expanded U.S. territory and set the stage for future westward expansion. The 11th U.S. president was James K. Polk, born on November 2, 1795, in Pineville, North Carolina. He was a Democrat and served for 4 years from March 4, 1845, to March 4, 1849. He is known for significant territorial expansion, including the Oregon Territory and the Mexican-American War. The 12th U.S. president was Zachary Taylor, born on November 24, 1784, in Barboursville, Virginia. He was a Whig and served for more than a year from March 4, 1849 to July 9, 1850. He was a national hero from the Mexican-American War. The 13th U.S. president was Millard Fillmore, born on January 7, 1800, in Summerhill, New York. He was a Whig and served for 3 years from July 9, 1850, to March 4, 1853. He is known for supporting the Compromise of 1850, which aimed to ease sectional tensions. The 14th U.S. President was Franklin Pierce, born on November 23, 1804, in Hillsborough, New Hampshire. He was a Democrat and served for 4 years from March 4, 1853, to March 4, 1857. He attempted to maintain peace between the North and South during rising tensions. The 15th U.S. President was James Buchanan, born on April 23, 1791, in Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. He was a Democrat and served for 4 years from March 4, 1857, to March 4, 1861. His most significant contribution was his dedication to preserving the Union during a period of escalating sectional tensions. The 16th U.S. President was Abraham Lincoln, born on February 12, 1809, in Hardin County, Kentucky. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1861, to April 15, 1865. He led the nation through the Civil War and issued the Emancipation Proclamation. The 17th U.S. President was Andrew Johnson, born on December 29, 1808, in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was a Democrat and served for nearly 4 years from April 15, 1865 to March 4, 1869. He worked to implement Reconstruction policies following the Civil War. The 18th U.S. President was Ulysses S. Grant, born on April 27, 1822 in Point Pleasant, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 8 years from March 4, 1869 to March 4, 1877. He was leading the Union Army to victory in the Civil War and later working to protect the rights of newly freed slaves during Reconstruction. The 19th U.S. President was Rutherford B. Hayes, born on October 4, 1822 in Delaware, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1877 to March 4, 1881. He is known for ending Reconstruction and advocating for civil service reform. The 20th U.S. President was James A. Garfield, born on November 19, 1831 in Moreland Hills, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 6 months from March 4, 1881 to September 19, 1881. He advocated for civil rights and education reform. The 21st U.S. President was Chester A. Arthur, born on October 5, 1829, in Fairfield, Vermont. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from September 19, 1881 to March 4, 1885. He is known for implementing civil service reform. The 22nd U.S. President was Grover Cleveland, born on March 18, 1837, in Caldwell, New Jersey. He was a Democrat and served for 4 years from March 4, 1885, to March 4, 1889. He is recognized for his integrity and opposition to political corruption. The 23rd U.S. President was Benjamin Harrison, born on August 20, 1833, in North Bend, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1889, to March 4, 1893. He promoted the Sherman Antitrust Act and expanded the Navy. The 24th U.S. President was Grover Cleveland, who served 2 non-consecutive terms, born on March 18, 1837, in Caldwell, New Jersey. He was a Democrat and served for 4 years from March 4, 1893, to March 4, 1897. He focused on economic reform and reducing tariffs. The 25th U.S. President was William McKinley, born on January 29, 1843, in Niles, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1897, to September 14, 1901. He led the nation during the Spanish-American War and promoted economic prosperity. The 26th U.S. President was Theodore Roosevelt, born on October 27, 1858, in New York City, New York. He was a Republican and served for 7 years and 5 months from September 14, 1901, to March 4, 1909. He championed progressive reforms and established national parks. The 27th U.S. President was William Howard Taft, born on September 15, 1857, in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1909, to March 4, 1913. He is known for his efforts in trust busting and for later serving as Chief Justice of the United States. The 28th U.S. President was Woodrow Wilson, born on December 28, 1856, in Staunton, Virginia. He was a Democrat and served for 8 years from March 4, 1913, to March 4, 1921. He is recognized for leading the country through World War I and advocating for the League of Nations. The 29th U.S. President was Warren G. Harding, born on November 2, 1865, in Blooming Grove, Ohio. He was a Republican and served for 2 years from March 4, 1921, to August 2, 1923. He promoted a return to normalcy after World War I, focusing on economic growth and stability. The 30th U.S. President was Calvin Coolidge, born on July 4, 1872, in Plymouth Notch, Vermont. He was a Republican and served for 6 years from August 2, 1923, to March 4, 1929. He is remembered for his quiet demeanor and commitment to small government. The 31st U.S. President was Herbert Hoover, born on August 10, 1874, in West Branch, Iowa. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from March 4, 1929, to March 4, 1933. He is recognized for his humanitarian efforts during World War I. The 32nd U.S. President was Franklin D. Roosevelt, born on January 30, 1882, in Hyde Park, New York. He was a Democrat and served for 12 years from March 4, 1933 to April 12, 1945. He is best known for leading the nation during the Great Depression and World War II. The 33rd U.S. President was Harry S. Truman, born on May 8, 1884, in Lamar, Missouri. He was a Democrat and served for 8 years from April 12, 1945, to January 20, 1953. His greatest contribution was the Marshall Plan, which helped rebuild Europe after World War II and prevented the spread of communism. The 34th U.S. President was Dwight D. Eisenhower, born on October 14, 1890, in Denison, Texas. He was a Republican and served for 8 years from January 20, 1953, to January 20, 1961. He is remembered for his leadership during the Cold War and the establishment of the interstate highway system. The 35th U.S. President was John F. Kennedy, born on May 29, 1917 in Brookline, Massachusetts. He was a Democrat and served for nearly 3 years from January 20, 1961 to November 22, 1963. He is known for his inspiring speeches and initiatives, including the space race and civil rights. The 36th U.S. President was Lyndon B. Johnson, born on August 27, 1908 in Stonewall, Texas. He was a Democrat and served for 5 years from November 22, 1963 to January 20, 1969. He is recognized for his Great Society programs and civil rights legislation. The 37th U.S. President was Richard Nixon, born on January 9, 1913, in Yorba Linda, California. He was a Republican and served for 5 years from January 20, 1969 to August 9, 1974. He is known for his foreign policy achievements, including the opening of relations with China. The 38th U.S. President was Gerald Ford, born on July 14, 1913, in Omaha, Nebraska. He was a Republican and served for 2.4 years from August 9, 1974 to January 20, 1977. He is remembered for his efforts to restore trust in the government after the Watergate scandal. The 39th U.S. President was Jimmy Carter, born on October 1, 1924, in Plains, Georgia. He is a Democrat and served for 4 years from January 20, 1977 to January 20, 1981. He is known for his humanitarian work and efforts in peace negotiations, particularly the Camp David Accords. The 40th U.S. President was Ronald Reagan, born on February 6, 1911, in Tampico, Illinois. He was a Republican and served for 8 years from January 20, 1981 to January 20, 1989. He is remembered for his economic policies and for ending the Cold War. The 41st U.S. President was George H.W. Bush, born on June 12, 1924, in Milton, Massachusetts. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from January 20, 1989 to January 20, 1993. He is known for his leadership during the Gulf War and for his efforts in foreign diplomacy. The 42nd U.S. President was Bill Clinton, born on August 19, 1946, in Hope, Arkansas. He is a Democrat and served for 8 years from January 20, 1993 to January 20, 2001. He is recognized for his economic policies and for overseeing a period of prosperity. The 43rd U.S. President was George W. Bush, born on July 6, 1946, in New Haven, Connecticut. He was a Republican and served for 8 years from January 20, 2001 to January 20, 2009. He is known for his response to the 9/11 attacks and efforts in education reform. The 44th U.S. President was Barack Obama, born on August 4, 1961, in Honolulu, Hawaii. He is a Democrat and served for 8 years from January 20, 2009 to January 20, 2017. He is celebrated for his healthcare reforms and for being the first African American president. The 45th U.S. President was Donald Trump, born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York. He was a Republican and served for 4 years from January 20, 2017 to January 20, 2021. He is known for his economic policies and for appointing 3 Supreme Court justices. The 46th U.S. President is Joe Biden, born on November 20, 1942, in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He is a Democrat and has served from January 20, 2021 to the present. He has focused on addressing the COVID-19 pandemic, infrastructure investment, and restoring international alliances. Who do you think will win the 2024 presidential election and become the 47th President of the United States? Please comment below with your prediction and let us know who your favorite candidate is. Thank you. Support us by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to our InfiInfo YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell button for notifications on our latest updates.